Hi there, and welcome to the Multiply You podcast, where we showcase top experts in their space and reveal all the secrets you need to know to multiply you.
Austin Clark here. I am the host of the Multiply Your Market podcast, where I talk with leaders in the pest control industry. And today we have a very special guest, Jeremy Weiss of Rise 25, who's done thousands of interviews with successful entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs. And we've flipped the script today where he will be interviewing me.
Austin, thank you. I'm super excited. And whenever I get to talk to someone like you who's really successful, knows what they're talking about, it's an amazing conversation. Before we talk about multiplying businesses and what you've done in your business, this episode is brought to you by Moxie Pest Control. And I know your number one focus is obviously helping get rid of pests for people so they can feel at home in the Phoenix area, but your real number one focus is buying other pest control businesses as well, so you can grow and expand. So if you know someone with a pest control business with 3 or more trucks on the road and is also a really respectable brand, they would love to talk to them. And I know we're going to talk about Tim's case today, Austin. And Tim was someone who's in business for 15 years. I don't want to give away everything, but the other end of when you go to the other side of things, he now has a great life where you can golf more, relax more. So if you know someone or you yourself want to sell your business or have thought of selling it, you can actually email Austin Clark@moxiepestcontrol.com. If you go to the website and contact them, their national team will get it and he won't. So make sure to email him directly at Clark@moxiepestcontrol.com. So Austin, Tim, what was your first interaction like? How did you get connected with Tim?
So you won't believe it, but you will after I tell you. Tim is a total stud. He's become a very great friend. My very first interaction with him was an email, I think, to our national team, like you said, and it was a generic email over like Christmas break of 2017. And it was from a fake generic email. It said like opportunities 2018. For some reason, one of our customer service people decided to send it on to me. And most of the time they don't, because it's marketing or whatever else. And for some reason she decided to do it. For some reason I decided to open it and reply back to it. And it simply said, I mean, I've got it somewhere here in my email, but I should dig it up for a later time. But I'm looking to sell my pest control company here in Phoenix, basically. Are you interested in purchasing it? And so I replied, of course, we'd love to throw our hat in the ring. And a couple of email exchanges later, and, making sure that, some I's were dotted and T's were crossed with non-disclosures, I was able to meet Tim and learn about that opportunity and learn about the business. And that was the very first external deal that we did.
So we're going to walk through how that worked. But first, just tell me and people listening, what do you look for in a business to acquire?
Yeah, sure. We want the company to be respectable and reputable, right? And so they need to do good work because we do great work. They need to be well respected. We'd like for them to have, at least 3 or 4 trucks on the road, or about $500,000 in annual sales or annual business. We like to see that they have a high ticket price. Our bread and butter, we are really, really, really good at providing residential general pest control services. We do weeds, we do termites, we do, exclusions and bed bugs and all those sorts of things. But what we've really found a niche in is residential general pest control. It's not a deal breaker, but we also like to see that they use a CRM. The CRM that we use is Pest Routes. It's incredible. They don't have to use that one, but we would prefer that as opposed to 3x5 cards or Excel spreadsheets. It just helps that transition go much, much smoother. We, in the last 3 years of financials, we like to look to see that the company is growing and not flat, and certainly not declining. So those are some of the things that make the company more attractive or more valuable to us.
Do you find there's, in that range, is there a certain staff that's there?
Yeah, so usually in that size of company, and so in Arizona, there's over 1,200 registered pest control companies in the state of Arizona. I would go so far to guess that probably 90% of them are just what I've described: 3 to 4 to 5 trucks or below. Usually one office person. The owner of that company is usually holding that company together. They have a really good, close personal relationship with all of the customers, and so that's what makes up a lot of the market here in Arizona.
So Tim's case is a little bit different, but the process is the same. Talk about the process. So he reaches out, he's interested, you talk to him. What kind of due diligence is involved?
So the way that there's 1,000 ways to be able to structure a deal. Our preferred way of structuring deals is via earnout, and rather than cash up front, because we feel that aligns everyone's interest, the customers, the company looking to sell, and also mine or Moxie's. It's important to me that we're paying top dollar for every single one of these companies, and it doesn't benefit me to say that on the air on this podcast, because that can cost me money. But we want to pay top dollar, and the tool that we use to be able to do that is the tool of time. And so as far as due diligence goes, Jeremy, like you said, with an earnout, there's very, very, very little due diligence, because normally we're paying a percent of collections from customers over a 9-month period, 12-month period, 15-month period. And so if they have a really solid customer base, they're going to get paid a lot of money. If they don't, then they either won't do the deal with us because they know that and we've just dodged a massive bullet, or those customers disappear. And so we have a lot of confidence in our service. We are very good at retaining customers. Once customers are customers with us, they normally don't go. They usually don't go anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of deals, done with really great companies, and it increases the value of the other company because of the company acquiring them. Are there typically any upfront dollars, or how does that work? I know that all deals are different, but if someone's listening, they're like, what do I expect as far as that goes?
Yeah, so typically not. It doesn't mean we're not open to that, but so far all the deals that we've done, we've not put money down, because I guess we haven't needed to, and we haven't not done a deal because there hasn't been money down. And so, in our sales process or, transition process, it's really important for the company owner to really get to know me, get to know some of our executive team, come down, take a tour of the place, because no one would ever in their right mind ever do an earnout scenario and not trust the people that they're selling to. And so I'm very transparent. The company's very transparent. We want them to come and sit in on meetings. We've had people come down and listen to calls, do office tours. And I think that has instilled a tremendous amount of confidence in us, for them to have them feel comfortable about passing something to us that they have worked for 10, 15, 20 years to grow. And as a business owner myself, I understand the sweat and blood and tears and money that goes into growing a company. And so I have been right in their same seat, in their same shoes.
So, okay, Tim or whoever goes, Austin, this sounds great, let's do it. What does the transition look like?
So start to finish, Tim and I engaged over the Christmas break. We got that deal done on March 1st. So that was start to finish, hello to deals done, 2 months. I had a gentleman in here today. He reached out. Today is November 18th. He wants to sell his company December 1st, so 2 weeks. And so the fastest I've ever done a deal so far is 2 months. A company like this gentleman's that I'm describing, we could probably get done in 10 days, 2 weeks. I think he's a little bit slower, or could have maybe prepared a little bit more, but there's not a tremendous amount of due diligence with the earnout. It's simply transferring customer bases, lists, that sort of thing. So we can get deals done. I'll say this: we can get them done inside of 30 days, and on our side, we're not the ones that is holding that process up. We move quickly.
And then what does it look like for them staying on?
So we've done both. One of the primary questions that I ask early on is the owner's goal in the process. It's not just how much money am I going to make. Oftentimes, they're extremely concerned about their employees and their customers. And what's great about the deals that we've done so far is sometimes those concerns are ahead of their own concerns, which is a really humbling thing for me to be a part of. It's a really neat thing to be a part of. And so if they want to come on, we have positions for them to be able to come on. If they want to retire, then they can retire in golf and sit by the pool or whatever they want to do. We've done 2 large deals so far this year in 2020, about the $1.2, $1.4 million range. And both of those company owners have come on. They're young, they've got a lot of life and a lot of tread on the tires, and they weren't looking to retire, and they love the pest industry. And so we have created positions for them. Not only are they earning their earnout from their company, and all of their employees have come on, but they're earning a pretty sweet salary, and they have, I think the biggest win for them is they have a tremendous team behind them now, helping support them, where previously it was them. They were writing the checks, dealing with vehicle accidents, doing a lot of that business owner stuff that they don't have to worry about anymore.
They could focus more on their kind of zone of genius.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you want to do 10 things not so well, or 3 things really, really well? And we're focusing in and zeroing in on their strengths and what they do best, and their genius, like you said.
So that also probably helps their earnout, I imagine, if some people stay on, right? Because
Oh my goodness,
they're helping grow the company.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That helps.
And payout. So at what point, I'm sure there's varying amounts, but at what point do they start getting paid the earnout?
So if we did a deal on the 1st of the month, they would start to receive their earnout the 10th of the following month. So 40 days. And it's a case by case basis. And so if there's like money that needs to be floated or kind of a draw or whatever, we're not going to not do a deal over $5 or $10 or $15 or $20,000. You know what I mean? We're looking for reasons and ways to do deals, and not create obstacles or barriers to doing them.
Yeah. Austin, is there anything else from Tim's journey specifically that would be interesting to people?
So Tim's situation is, I don't think, the stereotypical acquisition. Tim's part of a large regional company, and they looked to their company focuses mostly in the Pacific Northwest. That's their bread and butter. They're really good at that type of work. And somehow, some way, they made their way down to Arizona several years ago. And it was never in the cards, ever in the cards, for them to liquidate or sell. But Arizona was a little bit to them, I guess maybe you could say, a thorn in their side. And I thought what they did was really smart in saying, hey, we need to regroup and refocus and do what we're the very best at. And what we're the very best at is in the Pacific Northwest. And so they liquidated the company to us. For that, I'll always be grateful. And I think that, I don't think I know, if you talk to Tim today, he is I think extremely happy with that deal. That we're still probably about 75% of the way through that earnout, so it's still happening. So it's not just a locally owned company. I mean, we've had experience doing regional or national companies, and they're just looking to liquidate a branch or branches in the Phoenix or Tucson or Arizona market. And so we have experience doing that. And I guess that's one thing that's pretty unique about that one.
Yeah. First of all, Austin, I want to thank you. I love hearing about, there's so many creative ways to do deals. People should listen to more episodes because you're going to talk about a lot of case studies. You're an amazing guest on the podcast as well. I want to point people towards, if they want to connect with you, they can go to aclark@moxiepestcontrol.com. Any other places for them to connect with you, or is that the best place?
Yeah, that's the best place to do it. Kind of like you said earlier, don't fill out a form on our national site. It'll go to our national team. And so, yeah, aclark@moxiepestcontrol.com.
Check out that, more episodes. Thanks, Austin.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Multiply You podcast. You'll see us again soon when you subscribe for future episodes.